There's this notion in our society that people subscribe to. It's called common sense. I really don't subscribe to common sense. Being a sociology major and having a sociology background, I subscribe to the concept that human behavior is a product of our society and of our environment. We learn everything through a process of education and socialization. And so none of what we do is inherent. None of what we do is basically instinctual. It's learned. And so this notion of common sense to me is again, I just don't believe in it. And I know a lot of people do. And I think that's a problem. And one of the reasons why there's so many people who struggle with personal effectiveness is because they subscribe to this notion that sense were common. Let me ask you this. If sense were common, wouldn't everyone have some? In a gist, that's my whole argument against common sense, is because there's nothing that happens to us like a rite of passage or something that happens to us physiologically when we hit puberty and hormones start to kick in, and then we're endowed with this common sense. There is no such thing. We learn what we learn through a process of socialization and education and our environment. And so if we don't learn it, then we can't use it, at least not consciously. We operate from a sense of good and bad sense, right? And good and bad sense from the perspective of, we can learn things, we can be shown things, we can read and educate ourselves about things, and then once we have information, we can make the choice to use it or not to use it, right? We can make a choice to either use good sense or use bad sense. And we're really the only species on the planet that can do that. All other species on the planet are governed by instinct, and they're governed by hardwired programming from nature that dictates how they operate in the environment. Human beings are at the top of the food chain because we have a conscious mind and a brain and a frontal lobe, and we can think. And so if what I'm saying to you makes sense, good sense, then use it. If it doesn't make good sense, or if it's bad sense, then don't use it.